And we're going to go ahead and kick it off here. Welcome to SalineLive.com. My name's Patrick Canavan, once again joined by Sam Jane, broadcasting the match here today of JV JV Volleyball as they take on the Kicking Mules of Bedford altogether. It's going to be an exciting game, dealing with a little technical difficulties on our end so far, and we'll figure that out in just a moment. But how you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great, Patrick. Excited to watch a good game of volleyball here between the girls, and it should be an exciting matchup. Bedford is a good team, and so is Saline, so it should be exciting.
What's your overall experience when it comes to volleyball?
Well, I don't have much, but, playing in gym class and things like that, I know it's a little bit of knowledge, but I'm excited to learn more about the sport. It's pretty entertaining. It's a fast-paced game, and that's what I like most about it. How about you?
Oh, I've always called a few games in the past, and I played on and off in little club circuits here and there. I was never really all that big of a deal. But it's always a fun game, especially when you head out with the friends on a weekend night, play a little volleyball, and the current score stands at 3 for Bedford and 1 currently for Saline.
Yeah, you see Bedford's right now. They're serving the ball, and it's got some good velocity on it, which allows, and good accuracy, which makes it hard for the Hornets to cover ground and be able to reflect it back towards the Kicking Mules. There's a meeting at the top of the net there. You'll see that often where Bedford players or Saline players will go up with their hands straight up in the air and try to stop those spikes down on the net that are so dangerous.
Absolutely, and a good defense there by the Hornets, getting close to the net. I believe that was number 4, Elizabeth Vance, for the Hornets, able to kind of shut them down with some solid defense. 3-3 current score. And if you're unfamiliar with volleyball as well, it's good to know that while the games do go quickly, that's why there are best of 5 sets altogether. And the score goes to 25 until the 5th set, where the score goes to 15. And like standard volleyball rules, you got to win by 2.
One of the things I'll be looking at here today is how many times those aces come into play for the Hornets. They have some great servers there that can hit the ball with some great velocity and place it in those corners that are so hard for Bedford to get. But so far it's been more of the Kicking Mules that have been able to deliver those aces and those kills that are so important. Nice shot there by the Hornets as they were able to find a niche in the defense. That was very key.
So far altogether, looking at a kind of a steady going match, 5-5 current score. Bedford looking to serve it off here.
That ball just got away from the Hornets there. That was a great play by the Bedford as they were able to find a hole in the defense and capitalize.
Absolutely, and I believe that is number 4. Pardon me. Yep. Nope. Number 5, Caitlin Armstrong as the captain there for the Mules, serving in the backcourt, ultimately having a lot of speed on her serves, and Hornets finding it difficult to defend.
Yeah, and for those of you that are unfamiliar with volleyball, those different colored jerseys that you see on those screens, those are your captains. So Caitlin Armstrong for the Bedford High School, and I believe that is, can't see right now for the Hornets. I'll get back to you on that.
Emily Leastock there with the block for the Mules, able to send it back in Bedford's favor, 7-5. 8-5 now.
And I believe that's Megan O'Neill who's the captain for the Hornets, so 2 leaders on the team.
(8-5) current score there, and a solid move by the Hornets, able to kind of keep things going for themselves. 8-6 now.
Yeah, very high-paced, fast, exciting game so far between the 2 teams, and that's exciting for viewers and exciting for us to watch. Megan O'Neill goes to serve. Just a bit long on that one. You'll see that ref hold up that red flag when the ball goes over, which gives a point to the other team. So Patrick, obviously since you've had some experience with volleyball, what would you say is more important, your velocity on your hits or your accuracy?
Accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. And that's what you can kind of see is the problem right now when it comes to the Hornets altogether. They are just having a little trouble trying to control the ball on their side of the court. And like that last possession there, they had a tough chance where they had to keep it from going out of bounds after a own hit. And that's kind of a rough situation where you rather send it to the other side of the court instead of trying to send it out of bounds and cause a point for the other team. And not to mention, you want a solid defense altogether. Up front for Bedford, you have number 24, Emily Leastock, who is a tall forward altogether and is playing valuable defense to the Mules, as she always seems to be right in the correct position to shut down any Hornet attempt to get right back to the other side of the court.
It's a good serve there by Julia Monday, number 12. She'll be doing a bit of serving here today and also be playing that defense and position like Patrick just talked about, which is so valuable. Oh, that was a nice hit there.
Kind of that lingering shot that doesn't have very much speed behind it, but sometimes a good changeup is enough to throw off the opposition.
Yeah, just changing speeds, changing places where you hit the ball is so crucial to win a game. That was a nice serve by Mondays. Didn't exactly hit the ground before a player touched it, but it was at such a weird angle for Bedford, and it had enough velocity where they weren't able to get under it and had to hit it from the side, which is an extremely hard thing to do.
That's another scenario of control where you really want to make sure that you have a solid stance ready to go to react and send the ball back in a little, can't quite think of the word, but refire, send it back the other way. But if you can catch them off guard there and hit them with enough speed, no matter how they hit it, it won't go in their favor.
Yeah, that was one of those change-ups you were talking about, Patrick. That one didn't have really much speed, but placed right where the Hornet defense just couldn't get to it. Kind of caught them off guard, I think.
I think those are the impressive serves you have. When it's not an ace altogether, but you have kind of a dropping shot that places it right between the back three and the front three. It really says what kind of a player you are and how you can really set it up.
Yeah, those are back-to-back really nice serves by Annabelle Waters, number 3 for Bedford.
Solid fake there by the Hornets. Kind of threw it off as they sent it towards the back court.
Oh, really good return there by Saline. That was a great hustle. You saw players diving on the floor, just trying to keep it alive.
But what you see here is every time the Hornets send it back on the other side of the court, the Mules always have a good, solid, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 set volley between their players where they can really just take control, decide what's going to happen, and then send it back over to the other side.
Yeah, with Walter serving here, Bedford's rattled off a couple points, and those are, just getting consecutive points, getting momentum is such a big thing in volleyball because the game moves so fast. You have to be able to take advantage.
Over the top with Saline there and trying for the diving save by number 5, Caitlin Armstrong, unsuccessful as Saline on the board once again. Current score stands 15 for Bedford and 10 for Saline.
Yeah, so Patrick, when you're looking at forwards and players who play close to the net, what's the most important aspect you look at? Is it height? Is it power? What are you looking at for mostly?
Oh, I mean, being a 6'3" guy, and I was always close to the net, it always helps to have a little extra height. But that power and the ability to control it is seriously valuable when it comes to returning and kind of gaining control back for your team.
Yeah, obviously, Saline has a couple of tall players up on the front side. You have freshman Elizabeth Ford, who plays that front role, and you've seen her close to the net today. So that could be a very key thing, because you're able to get your longer arms up and deflect those spikes and hits that could just go right under the net, and you get an easy point. Take a quick timeout here. Head coach Rachel Cornish here, keeping her team in the huddle, probably trying to motivate them here as they're down 7 points. You got to be able to get back in this game. Can't let Bedford get too far ahead, or else this game's going to be out of reach. And in a best-of-5 series, it's tough to come back from those losses that, are so crucial. And especially starting off with the first victory is very key, because you can get momentum heading to the next, and you don't have to worry about losing games where you don't have as much pressure on you.
Absolutely, and going up against Bedford is always a tough opponent because they've historically had a very successful volleyball program in the SEC altogether. And a solid hit there by the Hornets with just a little too much power as it looks to go up and out of bounds. Current score stands at Bedford 18, Saline 10.
Yeah, Anna Hess on that left side. She's had some great power on her shots, but like you talked about, accuracy is so big, and it has just gone far for her a little bit. There another freshman, Ford, just couldn't get it in bounds. So Saline not really playing with the best accuracy as we see a couple substitutes. As Hess will come out of the game, and maybe Coach Rachel Cornish sees the same thing and wants to get more of that accurate type of hits into the game. Oh, nice return there by the Hornets.
That's a great block right up in front. You saw number 11, pardon me. There it is, number 11, Elizabeth Ford, step up and deny that strong shot placed on her by Bedford. Another one back in favor of Saline there. 19-12 is the current score.
Saline trying to make a little comeback here.
A solid set there on the outside with just too much power to meet it. Unfortunately goes up and out of bounds.
Yeah, good set there by Lainey Burns. She's also a freshman. So Saline brings out 3 freshmen today. Burns, Ford, and Hess. So, have some young talent. Oh, that was a nice hit, though. That looked like it was Elizabeth Vance on the hit. That was a nice play by her. Getting the kill. Julia Monday will check out of the game. How often do you see substitutes in volleyball, Patrick? Like, what are you looking at? Every 10 or so plays, or is it more just about how the game's going?
I'd say it's more about how the game's going. In this situation, you want to try and cycle players through and see if you can kind of sway things back in your favor, especially for Saline right now. But if you look at Bedford, you really haven't seen very many substitutions altogether when they have, it looks like, 4 extra players on their bench. And so it's definitely an option, but it's not one that's needed by them currently.
Yeah, Saline's getting some momentum though right now. They're making a comeback, and you gotta catch up to Bedford, but they're doing a great and valiant effort here. Try to win this game, get to 25 before the Mules do. Another nice serve.
Another one of those solid power shots that's able, just catches the backcourt seriously out of position, and as a result, you can get another point on the board.
Good shot there by Burns.
Burns once again able to send it back in Hornet favor.
And that's 3 in a row there for Burns, and she's been able to not even get a return from Bedford. So her teammates seem to be fired up for her. As you saw Elizabeth Vance signaling, that's 3. So definitely fired up for the freshman. Some sort of penalty. You see, after every play, after every time the ball touches the ground, there's a huddle up, which is just to offer words of encouragement or maybe talk about a different set you're going to run. So those are big because it allows for team communication. Oh, just got over those ones over the net, Patrick. They got to be killer because you're looking at it coming in, and then it takes a deflection. It's almost impossible to get to.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. Another point going towards Bedford there, 23-17.
Timeout. I believe the Kicking Mules took a TO. These two teams, obviously in many sports, rivals. So you have volleyball, which is two very competitive programs, and this should signify a good couple of games here with varsity coming up next.
Well, not to mention when it comes to volleyball, it's a huge club sport in the area. And like for instance, you have the Huron Valley Volleyball Club just down the road here on Industrial, and it's one that draws players in from all over the place, ranging from every corner of the SEC. Essentially, will come on out.
Yeah, so maybe some of these players know each other. It could be friends off the court, you know, in terms of that club, and that can lead to some trash talking that, you know, you always have that edge over your teammate.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice return there by the
solid
Hornets.
block there.
Looked like that was Elena Sutherland, number 14. That was a great play because that could have signified almost to make it to 24, and then you only need one more point. But now they take a little bit of pressure off for the time being. So Elizabeth Vance goes to serve. Her sister, Olivia Vance, plays for Toledo College. She is a freshman now. She was a great player at Saline, and anytime you can have a Division I athlete on your volleyball team, that signifies that you got a pretty good team.
Yeah, she was always fun to watch last year when she was still in high school, and always good to see other Hornets taking it on to the next level. Set point here.
And Bedford looks like they will take the first set, 25-19. So good first set here as you saw the Hornets fight back, get some momentum, but Bedford was just a little bit too strong there towards the end.
Oh, absolutely. And with that said, we're going to take a quick, probably just a 2-minute break here as they get things going between sets, and we'll be right back. And we're back for set number 2 here. Mules up 1 set over Saline. Currently, game 2. We'll see what happens here as things continue to play out and how the Hornets will try to retaliate on the court.
Yeah, this game is so crucial because you don't want to fall down 2-0 because 1-1 is such a massive difference than 2-0 because then you don't have the pressure of you have to win one game and the other team tends to play way more loose, which can lead to success. And so this is a massive game for the Hornets and a big game for Bedford too because going up 2-0, like I said, you feel more relaxed, you feel more comfortable. You just start to play instead of pressing.
Oh, absolutely. And here we go to open it up for the Hornets all together. A very solid volley there as our main camera drifts down low. Sorry about that.
Bedford's really impressed me with their accuracy today. They just have found the holes in the Hornets' defense and have taken advantage of them.
Once again, right on target there as Bedford on the outside. Number 12, I believe, Shea Hoiker is able to get the kill in a precision location that is excellent and puts the Mules up once again. 2-0, Bedford leading the way.
And it's not always about how you do on that first shot. It's more about what you do in a way to get momentum and take advantage of how hard the ball is being hit. If you're out of place, then the defense can return and take advantage of that.
Once again, just out of bounds, or pardon me, just in bounds there as Bedford up again. 4 on the board to the Hornets 0. Kind of a similar tone to the last set we watched.
Yeah, definitely. The Hornets continue to miss just strong over the mark, and you want to get power in your shots, but at some point, you have to take what the defense gives you and put it in spots where they're not at instead of trying to get the big, powerful highlight hit.
Number 12 for the Hornets there, Julia Monday to start it off, sending it right down. Tried to go for the kill there on the far side. That is number 5, Mackenzie Roner for the Hornets, with just not enough power.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of fakes, Patrick, and is that just more to fool the defense, or is it to, just kind of inspire your team, or what's the point of those?
No, the fakes are all about fooling the defense. You want to open up a hole right on the front, because it's easy to have a tall player stand in your way and block it, but if you can get up there and force them to jump and you can set it out of the way for somebody else, it really helps your team to find a new hole.
Absolutely, but unfortunately for the Hornets, I don't think Bedford's really been fooled by any of them. They've kept their eyes on the ball, which is because if you look at your player and you see her jump up, then you tend to get fooled. But they've kept their eyes on the ball and have known where it's at all times.
There's a point going for Saline. Yeah, fakes are kind of a dangerous game altogether because they're good to work into your playbook occasionally. I mean, just like a fake in football or a trick play in football, you want to have something up your sleeve that you can run to see what happens. You never know. And a fake in volleyball can be very valuable. However, if you just rely on it, the other team's going to know what's happening. And it's going to be very difficult altogether to keep up with their state of play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those plays that they either go for great or it doesn't look good when you don't get it right. So,
oh, absolutely.
Boom or bust.
Falling just short there in the diving save. Bedford up 7-2 now.
The Hornets got to find some sort of resiliency here because they've fallen behind in the ever crucial second game. But volleyball is a game of momentum, and hopefully the Hornets can get it swung their way. Patrick, what do you think the Hornets need to do to improve how they're playing right now?
I think it's about team control at the moment. Bedford's coming in with a lot of heat, and a lot of points have been given up just by team being out of place and issues when it comes to essentially communication and sending it back and forth to each other properly. And that's kind of it's something that comes and develops with the season. As a JV team, while Saline does have a freshman team, so a handful of these girls may have been playing with each other for multiple years prior, but it still helps definitely in the end to have a team that is in full communication, that knows their role, and is able to work together and send it back in their favor.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it, because some of these kids, you know, like we said, there is a freshman team, but you don't really have that same amount of chemistry as per se the varsity does. So, you know, building that chemistry and getting ready for the season, and the grind of it as it gets later into the year is big at these early stage of games.
Solid shot there with a little bit of heat on that kill. Hornets on the board once again.
Nice shot
8-5.
there. You see some Hornets and some servers, they bounce the ball a couple of times, and some just spin it, or some just right away hit it. Is that just personal preference, or has coaches taught you to do some things, or what is that like?
Oh, it's all about zoning in, and you'll see it in every single sport. The kicker always takes 2 steps back, 3 steps to the side, or he shakes it out. He's got some special routine. In track and field, you'll see guys do wild things before they get down on the blocks. It's whatever to zero your mind in and help you kind of focus and get ready to go.
Yeah, having a same routine as you always do allows you for your mind to mentally prepare and focus. So that's big, as the Hornets are making a little run here.
And a solid kill there by Bedford down low. Trying to maintain that 2-point lead now at 9-7 overall.
As we go to 10-7, the kicking mules have, you know, they've really just kind of stayed even throughout the game. Not too high, not too low. Kind of fought back and negated any sort of momentum Saline's gotten. Well, Saline's been the extremes lately. They've been at lows, and then they've played some really highs. So gotta find that constant measure.
Oh, absolutely. Up and out of bounds there with that serve. 10-8. Bedford leads.
Good spike there.
Solid set and a kill there on the far side for Saline, able to find the Mules out of place. Hornets now only down by 1 in set 2.
Point
10-10.
Point goes to the Hornets there on a very close play. Looks like you have side judges on the end there that hold up that red flag if it's in or out of bounds.
Yeah, you have one on the far corner, far left corner, and there's one on the bottom right corner as well, and they're responsible for the line to the left and the line in front of them. Hornets now up for the first time overall in this match.
It's not going to stand for long as we go back to a tie, so a closely contested game here.
Burns up in front, tries to set it up and for the kill, however, blocked right away by Bedford and sent back the other way. Bedford up 12-11 now.
Yeah, as you saw, Saline kind of got out of shape there. Their defense kind of flowed one way, and even though they got the ball over, that leaves Bedford for an easy set and an easy kill.
A little misdirection there on that kill for Saline puts Bedford up once again, 13-11. They had a quick breather there where they were able to tie it up for the first time and pull ahead, but unable to maintain by the Hornets.
Miscommunication, it looked like, by Bedford there. They just let that one fall. But that's why you get in the circle. You're like, all right, guys, that's got to be one of me or my bad. And you just move on to the next play because it's such a high pass game. You can't remember what you made on the last play. You just got to bounce back.
Oh, definitely. It's one of those kind of odd situations. It's like when you got a hitting baseball going deep outfield and you got two outfielders going for it at the same time. Nobody calls the ball, and all of a sudden you have a collision. And, I mean, you see it happen at all levels of sports, too. Sometimes a player just doesn't hear a call, or sometimes they all call it at once and nobody decides who's going to take it.
Yeah. You see that in baseball, like you said, and you can see that in basketball where you throw a pass and your teammate doesn't hear you, scream for the ball as he's running down the field, down the court in transition. Can happen in a sport like football where blockers get confused and they both block the same guy instead of picking up their individual man. It's just communication, and you bounce back the next. And Saline looks to be, they're pretty excited about that timeout call as Bedford tried to stall momentum.
Current score stands at 16 for Saline and 13 for the Kicking Mules. They're back on the board, and it's looking to be a tough set for the rest of the duration as the Hornets try not to go in a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, and I think a way Saline can finish here down the stretch is keep working on those good serves that you've been having, especially from Laney Burns, and you got to finish and have that mentality. Well, we're gonna win this game, and there's nothing you can do about it, because when you get that us against the world mentality for the team, it allows you to finish in big games and in close moments. There it is again.
Yeah, solid opener there. 17-13 now. Hornets pulling away a little bit.
Bedford seems to be reeling a little bit. They've sacrificed some points. Tried to call a timeout to stall momentum, but didn't look like it worked on that point. See if they can bounce back.
Solid recovery there by the captain. Up and out of bounds, however, 17-14.
Yeah, O'Neal showed some good range there. She was able to recover to the corner. Just couldn't place it inbound. It's a tough shot, though. Yeah, that had some power on it from that left side. That hit a player, bounced off the net, and it still got enough to where Bedford, it was really hard to return. And when you go to spike the ball, Patrick, what part of the arm or hand are you looking for to hit? Is it the forearm, or what are you looking at?
Well, if you're coming down on a spike, it kind of depends. Because the standard, like you got the double fist and you put them together, that's a good set and return type of positioning there. But if you're up in the air and you get a good spike, you want to hit that. And I've seen players do I guess the hammer is what you could call it, a full fist, and then just punch it as hard as you could. But then you also have players who go up and it's a slap. It's a hard slap where you contact and you go more of your lower palm to get all the impact.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Just, I guess, depends on the players and what you've practiced and you're confident in.
Oh yeah, that's all that matters in the end, where your confidence lies. 18-16 current score.
I mean, you see different baseball players have different swings and can result in the same impact, and could be the same for volleyball with how you hit the ball.
Solid shot there on the outside by the Hornets. I believe that was number 5, Mackenzie Roner, once again. Enough power where it deflected up and out of bounds, giving another tally for the Hornets. (20-16), Hornets 5 away from closing out their first set.
You see good communication by Saline there. They're telling their defense, hey, we're moving to the left, we're moving to the right, wherever Bedford goes. And like we talked about, communication is key. They didn't really have that in the first set, so that's a good adjustment by the head coach.
Good recovery there by Bedford, too. All kind of seemed lost. They're able to set it back in Hornet.
That's a big point for Bedford because you saw them, they didn't have a great initial shot, but they were able to recover and still get the point. And they get the ball back to serve. With number 1, Julia Martin.
A solid, slow cross over the net there. Nearly caught Bedford off its feet there, and they're able to put it right back, 21-17.
A lot of players wear those knee covers because you've seen a lot of hustling and sliding on the floor today, and it's to protect those knees from getting those rubs on the hard court, so that's why they're wearing those.
Solid move there in the front there by the Hornets, able to chip it right back over on the other side.
Yeah, Burns, it looked like tricked out Bedford. She looked like she was going for a set, and then she just kind of tipped it over. And results in a Hornet point.
Elizabeth Ford with that moving kill there at the end to send it right back over. 22-17.
Oh, nice touch there. Looked like she was going for the full wind-up, just kind of softly dropped it over. And you're on your back heels when you feel like a ball's going to come in at a high velocity. So when they kind of just tip it over, you kind of have to recover, and that didn't result in that. So good little change up there for the Hornets. You saw it right there for Saline.
Burns with the quick touch there, able to get the Hornets a little more momentum.
Yeah, only
23-18.
Like 2 more points here to secure a set win.
Knocked away there, 23-19.
But we're trying to make a run back because this game's so crucial.
Burns rush-ups for the defend there, however, misdirected in another direction, kind of putting her out of place altogether, and Bedford finds the point, 23-20 all together, as we got a timeout coming. One-minute timeout as Saline 2 points out from closing out set number 2, and the first for them overall. Definitely don't want to go down 2 sets here in this situation. And back at it for the last remaining bit here.
Oh.
A little short there on the kill off the net. Bedford, another point up.
The game's gonna come. The set's gonna come down to the wire. Saline's got to find a way to pull this one out.
It's a solid defense there by Saline off the serve, able to send it back in favor. 23-21 out of bounds. 24-21. We are on set point.
Yeah, Saline gets this one, and this set is over, and you take it to a crucial game 3. Looked like that might have. Oh, just calls it out of bounds. So it looks like Burns was looking for an in sign that would have won it.
Far side serve misdirected off Saline. 24-23. Bedford trying to bring it back.
Yeah, O'Neal couldn't handle that one. But she's been impressive tonight, so you allow those mistakes for your captain. She makes up for it. Now, if Saline can get this point, they still would win, but that's
24-24, and set point is no longer an option currently. They're going to push the second set overall.
got to win by 2 here, so like Patrick said, no more set point.
It's a solid, slow dropping shot there by Saline, unsuccessful to find the results they wanted. Nearly cut out of position there.
Oh, just got over the tall, outreaching arms of the Hornets.
So up goes Bedford, 25-24, set point for Bedford.
Yeah, Saline's going to take a timeout here because this is a massive point if Bedford can get this.
It's a little bit in the danger zone to see what happens here for the Hornets.
Bedford heads back out onto the court to try to finish this set and take a big win.
Annabelle Walters being a key player there, however, tied back up 25 apiece.
Yeah, this game is exactly what you want from volleyball. It's coming down to the wire. Saline Bedford going back and forth.
Because it is no longer set point. And back in the Hornets' favor once again, 26-25.
That's crucial because you get back to set point, Patrick, and you make it so that you don't have the pressure on you to make that last big play to not lose the game. That pressure is now on the kicking mules.
Caught out of position there in the back. 26 apiece.
It was a great shot from the back end. It had so much power on it that Saline couldn't handle it. I thought that they would catch the mules out of position because they didn't get close to the net, but that was an incredible shot. Looked to be by Walters there.
Saline's back up, 27-26. I think that was net contact there by Bedford on the close side.
Now you go back to set point, so back and forth we go here.
Burns with a solid stop there.
And there it is. Saline's going to get their first set off just out of bounds shot by Bedford. Tie this game 1-1.
That was a great effort there. And solid team play overall. With that said, folks, we'll be back in just a few minutes here. Time for set 3. And we're back for set number 3 altogether. It's going to be an exciting one. Current totals are at 1-1 apiece. And Bedford opens up strong there, looking to take the lead almost immediately. However, that's how they started last set as well, so it could go either way.
Yeah, and some adjustments I think both teams need to make. For Saline, continue what you ended with there. When you went on the momentum streak, focus more on those touch shots and accuracy that you were working on. And for Bedford, I would just say keep playing solid defense. They've played great defense all day, and even when Saline has gotten some momentum, they've been able to fight back. So keep that resilient mindset and keep doing what you've been doing for the beginning of most games.
Absolutely. 1-1 after a quick rebuttal there. 2-1 in favor of the Hornets now.
It's the captain, Megan O'Neill, on the serve. That's going to go out of bounds.
Way out of reach there on the far side. 3-1 Saline.
Oh, another miscommunication between Bedford. You've seen that twice today, huh, Patrick?
Oh yeah, it's kind of a dangerous situation there on the outside. So you can chalk it up to miscommunication, but at the same time, it was getting close to the edge. It could have been a pretty close call to see if it was going to go out of bounds.
As that one just did.
Too much heat on that for the Hornets. 4-2 now.
Just out of bounds there as Ronner tried to fit it in on the backside.
Another scenario of just too much heat. Good tip there on the far side by Bedford. And back in Bedford's favor there, 4-4. Trying for the soft pass to kind of keep it in bounds and tip it back over the net. However, 5-4 in favor of Bedford now. Solid kill there, cut short there in the backfield by the Kicking Mules captain. Point goes to Saline, however. 5-5.
Yeah, Armstrong did a good job of the kill there. Just couldn't get over the net. Back-to-back shots that a spike could not get over.
6-5 Saline, solid block out in front. Six, Bedford is staying with it the entire match so far. Armstrong starting off the serve there.
Oh, what a play.
Solid knockback. I think that is number 3 altogether. Annabelle Walters with the immediate retaliation. Caught the Hornets out of position. 7-6, Mules lead the way.
Three freshmen on the front line there as you have Burns, Ford, and Hess. So they obviously have a lot of trust in those young players.
Saline's momentum halted there as the serve falls just short. 8-8 is the current score. Good save there by Bedford, and able to get it back over the net. 9-8 in Bedford's favor.
Oh, inbounds. What a shot. Just to the left middle corner there. That was perfectly placed. Well executed by the Hornets.
Looks like a little contact on the Saline side gave point to Bedford there, 10-9. And I gotta continue with play here. Let's see what happens. Up and out of bounds, Bedford once again. 11-9. Serve just short there. 11-10. Elevens apiece now as the Hornets able to have a successful serve there.
And it looks like those mid players, they flash plays to their servers and give them a number on their back and tells them maybe where to hit the ball or what type of spin you want on it or something like that when you get to more advanced levels.
$12-12.
Stoppage of plays, Elizabeth Vance. Yes, looked like she had to tie her shoe. Good rally here between the two teams. Oh.
Nearly a solid save there. Just not enough to make it to the forward player. Point goes towards Bedford, 13-12. Another one going to Bedford.
Both teams playing extremely well here in this third set.
A highly competitive match so far. Solid hit there by number 8 for the Hornets. It was Megan O'Neill, but just too much heat on it as it goes up and out of bounds.
You know, O'Neill showed some impressive power today, and she's been able to be fairly accurate with her shots, but just not accurate enough right there. Another point to Bedford.
15-12, 10 out from the end of this set. Hornets with the save there, able to get it back across the other side. Tough deflection recovered by Burns. Stays in bounds just in that back corner. Point going to Saline.
Got a close game here, 3 apart as it's 16 to the Kicking Mules and 13 to your Hornets. Nice little touch pass there. Although, looks like it might have been net interference or something like that, Patrick.
Couldn't quite tell on that side as the point goes to Bedford 17-13 altogether now. Up and out of bounds off of Hornets as 18-13 now. Mules lead the way. Solid kill there, beats all the defenders. Hornets slowly trying to claw their way back up, 18-14.
Looks like Mackenzie Roner will come in the game for Elena Sutherland. And Roner will go to serve.
(18-15) now. Hornets climbing their way back up. Solid block there by the Hornets, forcing Bedford to have extra touches. 18-16 for the Hornets.
Yep, Hornets have made a little run here, so you got to keep that up. And
a very solid kill there, trying to shift momentum back in Bedford favor.
yeah, absolutely, that was a nice shot there. It's had good power and good accuracy on it, which is all you can ask from your players.
And right back in Saline's favor there. 19-17. Slowly closing in on Bedford here. And once again, another great point there, 19-18. Timeout call, trying to slow down the pace there and figure out a game plan in favor of the Hornets, as this could be a leader change. We'll see what happens after this timeout. And as the players retake the court, we want to remind you folks, this is a doubleheader broadcast, and varsity will be taking the court just after the conclusion of this game. this match altogether. Kicked off there by Vance to start it off for the Hornets. Solid kill there, but well defended by the Mules.
Oh, nice save there.
Solid block and deflection, goes up and out of bounds. 20-18 in favor of Bedford.
Hornets got to find a way to pull themselves out of resiliency here and make this a win for them.
A repeat situation, solid block, yet deflected out of bounds. Bedford 21 over Saline's 18.
Nice play there by the Hornets.
Good little change up there, kind of slowing down the pace of the game and allowing the Hornets to catch the Mules just out of place.
They come back with a heater like that one, and the defense is shell-shocked.
Yeah, Hornets definitely in a big situation. 21-20. (22-20) Bedford gains the point there.
Bedford gets a big point there to pull themselves within one, or Bedford gets a big point there to pull themselves ahead, up 2 points.
Nearly saved there on the front line. However, Hornets trying to close the gap, down by 1 once again. And Burns to take it and serve in the back. This is the moment not to forget. She had a solid 3-run earlier in the second set. Solid set there by Burns, and the kill puts Saline up tied now, 22s apiece.
Out of bounds there.
I think I heard somebody down there scream out, so that's a big, big moment, as I think it deflected off of a Hornet defender as well, 23-22.
Oh, so they're going to give the point to Bedford.
Yep, Bedford with the point there, not Saline.
Looked like Saline was cheering there, but
It definitely was, but I think it was deflected off in the front.
that ref's got a perfect view for it, right on the net. And that one will not be touched.
Yeah, it's about that smart move there, trying to figure out where you're going with it.
So you got another repeat situation of game 2, where it's a tight one down the wire.
Timeout called. 23s apiece. It's a tough one here in set number 2, or pardon me, 3.
Patrick, in this situation, you think your players, what are you telling your coach? What are you telling your players, pardon me, if you're the coach here?
I'd say kind of take it how it comes to you, especially in terms of Saline. Don't get too aggressive just yet. Stay on the defensive for a bit and wait for your opening, because if you just send it right back over, Bedford has a very, very solid team mechanic where they're able to control the ball very, very well. And if you give them too much time to set up a good volley, that could be dangerous for your win here today.
Yeah, absolutely there. You got to control the ball, keep it on your side so you can get a more powerful, more accurate hit.
Kicked off there by the Hornets here, looking to put 24 on the board. Solid return by Bedford. And Saline 24-23 as we move into set point.
Yeah, and Patrick, we saw it there again. It's happened now 3 times. And this one in the most costly spot for the kicking mules, where that miscommunication led to a Saline point where it just fell in between 2 defenders.
Solid save there by Burns, able to redirect it back towards midcourt, allowing the Hornets to reset for a quick second. And there you go, 24s apiece. It's a rhyming situation with the previous set. It'll be an interesting turnout altogether.
Nice save by O'Neal there. Oh, no.
Solid save. And smackdown as Bedford in set point, 25-24.
Gotta have a key communication if you're the Hornets here. You can't let this one get away from you.
Burns with the set. Tries to dish the kill out to the far side. Bedford able to retaliate quickly. And finds the ace in the kill there. 26-24. Bedford comes away there. And in fact, folks, as it is a JV game, it's best of 3 instead of best of 5. So a little misleading there, but that is the match point altogether. Bedford comes away with the win.
That was
2 sets to 1.
Patrick, that was a very good game. Good 3 games there. Each game had some fireworks down to the end, and we hope you tune back in for the varsity game. Should be another good one.
Absolutely. Stick around. It'll probably start just around 7 o'clock altogether, and that'll be a very exciting game to see the Mules take on the Hornets. See you in a bit.